How to balance school and work life, which means how to get good grades in school without much study stress and classes, and also balance it with making a good amount of money online or learning a skill or basically doing something really productive that is way better than just going to class and living a boring life. So this is what you'll be learning in this video. And who am I to teach you this? Basically, my name is Aaron if you are just joining this channel for the first time, and I have actually been doing this myself for almost 3 years now, because as you can see, this is my ID. I'm also in uni, and I've been able to grow this YouTube channel. I've been able to make good money trading. I've been able to make good money building websites as a programmer. I'm also building my startup as well, and there's really a lot going on, and I've been able to do all this while maintaining a very good grade above 3.5, 4 points, even better than most of my peers that have been just going to school and not even doing all these productive activities for their life. So if that is what you're interested in, learning how to balance all those activities, even though you don't have them going on, how to get something started, then make sure to stick around to the end of this video. Also, like this video right now and subscribe. I'm just going to give you 3 seconds so you can be a part of the family forever. 1, 2, 3. So I'll be breaking this down into a few very important steps, so you should make sure you pay attention to the end. If possible, get a note, sit back, relax and learn, because this could literally change the whole trajectory of your life. So step 1 is dividing your income streams into 2, because you might not even need to do all these activities that I am doing. You might just need to do just one thing and your life will be awesome. So these are the 2 income streams that you should divide your work life into. You might be doing just one, which is very bad. You think you are making progress, you are making some money, but it's very bad. So the 2 income streams are the long-term income streams and the short-term income streams. The long-term income streams are the ones that don't make you any money at all right now, but they have potentials of making you a lot of passive income later on in the future. So one example of this long-term skill is building a YouTube channel just like mine, because in the earlier stage of building a YouTube channel, you're uploading several videos and you're not getting paid. But later on, until you are monetized, and monetization can take you like a year before you get monetized, so you can see that you don't get paid in the earlier stage, but once you get monetized, those videos you made last year can be generating you hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and you'll be making passive income even while you're asleep. So this is why it is a long-term income stream. So another long-term income stream is probably building a startup, because if you are building a startup right now or a business, you are not making any money from the ground up. But once your business gets global or it scales, you start making a lot of money from it, and you're making it passively. I can even sell the company. Another long-term income stream will be learning how to trade. In the first year of learning how to trade, or first, even second year, you might not be making any money, but once you start making progress, you become consistently profitable, you scale your capital, you might be making thousands of dollars very easily. So earlier stage, you don't make any money. Those earlier stage you're in school, you're not making any money, but once you, like, maybe you're in your 3rd year, 4th year, or you graduate, that's when you start making a lot of money from forex. So that's why it's a long-term skill. So my own personal long-term income streams were forex, building a YouTube channel, building a startup, and building my network connections. That's meeting people. I love meeting people because they will definitely be of use in the future. So the short-term skill might include skills that you already use to make money right now, maybe like doing graphic design, video editing, all those stuff. Or you're a barber, you're a you're a shoemaker, or you do cakes, you do pastry, you do all these little jobs that you use to make money for yourself in school. Those are the short-term income streams, because those things cannot get you a mansion, cannot get you the Lambo, cannot get you the dream life and all that stuff. So why do I break this down into 2 even when I'm talking about balancing school? This is because you might not even need any of this, because if your parents are sending you money like allowance every month or every week or whatever, you do not need to use the short-term income streams, because you already have money for allowance for food and shelter, clothing and all that stuff. Don't forget about impressing or living the life in school. As long as you are receiving enough allowance that will keep you alive, that is enough. Don't focus on those short-term skills. Instead, focus on all your attention on the long-term income streams. Very, very important. But if you are like me, where nobody's sending me allowance, I'm the one paying my school fees, all those stuff, then you should focus on also the long-term and the short-term skills. So your work is now double, because you have to provide for yourself, pay your school fees, pay your bills, all those stuff yourself. So that's why you need those short-term income streams and also the long-term income streams while you are doing those short-term stuff. So this is how I wrote them down in my Notion. You can check it out. You can also write down your own. Once you are done, then we can move on to step 2. So step 2 is actually going down to the bottom of the list and adding study. So study is not that complex where you have to divide it into several sections. Just write study, and once you put study, you write it down first. We'll assign a time for that study later on. So the next thing that usually takes a lot of people's time in school and general in life is sleep. You overlook the time you use to sleep. Sleeping is a tax in its own self, because most of you might be sleeping 8 hours, 7 hours. You don't even know how long you sleep. If I ask you how many hours you sleep now, you probably don't even know, and it is very, very important to track that amount of time. So I usually advise sleeping. Usually, me personally, I sleep about 4 hours, but you just starting our advice to sleep 5 hours. Make sure before going to bed, know how long you are going to stay in that bed before laying on that bed. Very important. It saves you so much time, and it creates so much time for you in the day to do all these activities. That's how I'm able to balance my time with all these things. So after writing down all these things, then you can add extra activities like exercising, praying, all those stuff that is for your personal development. Just add them to your list of things. So now you have written a comprehensive list. What is next? Let's move on to step 3. So step 3 is looking at this list that you just wrote before you go to bed, before you lay down on that bed, before you lay down on your bed. Look at this list that you just wrote. Start from the top and look at every item and assign a time to that item. I'm not talking about assigning 8 to 9 I do this, 9 to 10 I do this. No, 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 no. Because if you are in public school, you might have classes here and they cancel the class, they add another class, they schedule classes and the rest. But if you're in private school, I think the timetable are more straight. You can set specific time. But if you are in public school like mine, the time is very scattered. So just assign hours. Like, I'm going to do this task for so hours, 1 hour. I'm going to do my trading for 1 hour. I'm going to learn my skill for 1 hour. I'm going to do this for 2 hours. Assign hours to each of those things you wrote on the list, including sleep. Remember, sleep is 5 hours now. And study, I skipped study. So study, basically you should assign at least 4 hours to it. Study is not recommended for you to study 1 hour in the afternoon, 2 hours in the evening and stuff. Don't scatter your study. 4 hours minimum of study per day. If you can't do that, you should just leave this video now. At least 4 hours minimum of study, and that 4 hours should be straight. That means you can study for not like straight, you are sitting down, because it's not good for your blood and all that stuff. So after 1 hour you can stand up, and after another hour you can stand up, and that 4 hours is not just studying one particular course. It's basically studying like maybe 3 courses per night. Arrange your timetable. I'm sure you know how to do that. Just plan it out. At least 3 courses should be covered within that 4 hours. If you are getting used to it, you can stretch your study time to like 5 hours. So during this planning phase in the night, where you are planning the next day activities using this list, then you can now decide, this is your 5 hours of study or 4 hours of study for starting. When are you going to do it? This is very, very important. Are you going to do it before you go to bed, like after, while during your writing this list? You are not going to go to bed again. You are going to study maybe from 9 to like 12 a.m. Are you going to do your 4 hours of study for the day during that time, or are you going to sleep for for that 4 hours or 5 hours and wake up at midnight and study? Or are you going to sleep throughout the night and wake up during the day and study? So you can see that there are about 3 sections where you can impute those 4 hours of study during the day, either at night or at midnight or during the day. So those are the 3 areas. You have to pick what works best for you. So if you choose during the day, you have to make sure there are no classes during that your 4 hours of study. Even though there are classes, it is recommended that it is possible for you to actually skip classes. This is because even though you do your midnight study or your nighttime study, I personally do not even attend classes, because the time I used to study has already covered up for those classes. Because trust me, what you're learning in those classes, you can personally learn them on your own. The things that you do not understand during that your 4 hours of study, you can take it out and give it to those guys who are top in your class, and those guys who have been attending classes. They can teach you these things within 30 minutes, and you get to assimilate and understand it. So how do you study during those 4 hours of study? You simply get your study materials from like the top students in your class or the course rep or whatever. Make sure they are directly from the lecturer, because you assimilate. The lecturer is literally teaching you what is written in those PDFs or notebook materials, and you are young, you can even assimilate more than him. So what's the point of going to the classes? So the only class where I will not advise you to skip are classes where there are special occasions, like there are tests, examinations, or the lecturers are incredibly strict and like they literally count attendance, count people there, and they take their attendance very seriously. So those ones are very few, so you can make sure you attend those ones. The rest you can literally skip it and do your 4 hours, 5 hours of study learn everything on your own. So you can see that those classes that you have cut out now has even freed up more time for you to include those your short-term skills and long-term skills, and you might even have extra time to include extracurriculum activities. But if there's no time to include extracurriculum activities, cut every single thing out, you will notice that there's so much time for you in the day, there's so much for you to get done, and you end up getting very good grades, you end up progressing in your business, you end up progressing in your life, you end up making more money, and everything will just be so cool for you. So the next action step for you to do right now is to actually write out that list that I mentioned. And remember, most of you might be having this excuse: you don't have lights in your school, you don't have network, all those things are issues. The fact is that nobody cares. Nobody cares if you have light to work, nobody cares if there's network. So just find a way. As you can see, for me, I even rented an office space around the town. Just find a way to get things done. Don't complain. Nobody cares. Nobody's going to care if there was light or network. Make sure to check the description. All the links and everything I forgot to mention, I will add it in the description, including my Instagram channel, where you can follow me and follow some really cool contents there as well. Really hope you enjoyed this video, you learned a lot. If you have questions, make sure to drop it in the comment section, and also you can feel free to send me a WhatsApp message. And please subscribe to this channel, because there's more and more content like this coming. Bye, see you next time. Hopefully you subscribe to the channel. Peace.